Hey, what's up everyone? It's Rinku, and I'm finally back. For the February 7th patch notes and in the world of Black Desert Online, there's a lot of love in the air, as well as seasonal decorations for Valentine's Day. Let's check it out. Other than the new attendance reward calendar, there's actually no new events, so first up we're going to be looking at the system changes. First up is a bug fix which fixes the ability to hit Shift F5 and hide other characters. This is a huge fix because for some people this may be the difference of 1 FPS and 60 FPS, literally allowing them to play the game again in certain areas, like world bosses, guild wars, node wars, sieges, anything with tons of people on your screen that could ruin your gaming experience due to lag. This could save it. We also have the change to guild bonus distributions and taxes, which actually came last week in Korea. Any guild that has at least 30 members, whether or not they hold a node or territory, can now distribute guild bonuses. Also, for any guild that distributes guild bonuses, you can now give up to 40% of your guild funds, which is raised 10% of the previous 30% that it used to be, allowing all guilds to pay out a higher percentage of the money that they already own. Because of this change, I can really see a lot of life skill guilds start to pick up now, especially since they can actually pay out their guild funds to their members without having to PvP at all. I guess technically you could snipe a node without PvPing at all, but you get the point. You don't even have to set up on a node, take a node, win a castle, nothing. You can actually just do guild missions or just casually generate the weekly funds that the guilds pay you for having a certain amount of members and actually pay out your members. It's a pretty cool thing. I don't know, I think it should have been there from the beginning. And PvP guilds that fight over nodes and territories will probably make more money from winning those nodes and territories anyways, so it's still more rewarding for those guilds to continue PvPing. So overall, very good idea with this update. If you have over 20 billion silver in guild funds, you will now have to pay up to 5% more in taxes. For anyone below 20 billion silver, nothing's changed, don't worry. Also, something below all this guild stuff that I thought was pretty cool, the silver received from combat fame of the house fame has been increased by 20%. So that right there, just overall, more money for all of us. Under content changes, we have of course the new guild boss, Ancient Putarum? Puturum? I don't know. Whatever it's called, you can now fight the guild version of this boss. It doesn't say what it drops, but it does say that it has new titles for delivering the final blow. Also, it has 4 different titles depending on the size of your guild. We also have some marketplace changes to look at. The amount of bonus silver granted to the seller when selling items via pre-order in the marketplace has been adjusted. Now, when you sell an item via pre-order, you will get a bonus of 20% of the difference. Meaning if you sell something at 100 mil and someone pre-orders it for 200 mil, you get 20% of the difference, meaning that you get 120 mil total. However, if he pre-ordered for 6 times the cost, 600 mil, you would actually get double what you sold it for, getting 200 mil back from something that you listed for only 100 mil. That's pretty cool. They also gave us the change where if you sell a pen item in the marketplace, if it's blue or gold, it will sell to pre-order no matter what, guaranteeing that people who pre-order pen items will get the pen item if they're the highest bidder. They say they made this change because pen items are the items with the highest level of enhancement, and their marketplace prices are lower than what their value should indicate. To offset this, instead of directly changing the maximum prices for each item, they're leaving it in the hands of us, the adventurers, to decide how much these items are worth by prioritizing pre-order. The last marketplace change I want to look at is when an item is sold via pre-order. The recent price will now show how much it was pre-ordered for instead of the basic listing price. This is a pretty huge change if you ever want to see how much people were paying for certain items in the game. Honestly, I would not be surprised if in a few days or weeks, someone makes a bot or website that actually shows all the items in the game and what their average pre-order is, up to date with maybe a timeline chart, kind of like other databases for other games already have. And if that already exists, then link it in the comments. Another small change to one of the T9 Horse Awakening materials is that the number of farming byproducts needed to make stone tail fodder have been amended. Previously, 15 to 25 byproducts depending on the type were needed, but now you can combine 20 of each from any two types of farming byproducts with simple cooking to easily make stonetail fodder. Pretty cool. Something that caught my eye under class changes was actually that they fixed the issue where grapple resistance was not properly applied up to the max 60%. The question here though is, what was the problem? How much has it been changed? We don't know what it was originally, so we don't really know how much this has changed it. But we do know that it's been changed, so that's all I can say. The last two changes that I want to talk about today are actually under item changes. This first one is pretty big. Some elixirs, pretty much most of them, have had their cooldowns changed to 10 seconds. What? In order to prevent possible cooldowns that may arise due to connection delays from issues such as loading time differences depending on unique PC settings and preferences, cooldowns of under 1 minute will reset after reconnecting back to the client. To not inconvenience our adventurers because of this change, we have reduced the cooldown of elixir items. Now this does not affect elixirs like the Whale Tenon elixir, Elixir of Deep Sea, and the Perfume of Courage. However, most, if not all, of the other elixirs in the game now have a cooldown of 10 seconds. Now this is pretty big because previously, party elixirs, whether you were in a party or not, were the only way to stack multiple elixirs. But now that elixirs have 10-second cooldowns, this is no longer needed. Another big change is that the following items, ranged and magic evasion, has been reduced by 50%. But the same quantity, being 50% of melee evasion, has been added. So Vanguard Shield, Sayer Ornamental Knot, and Leather Vambrace will now be a lot more tankier to meleeers, but significantly less tankier to ranged and magic users. So that's a pretty big change. I'm not sure that's going to affect everything overall, but that's pretty huge. Added to the cash shop for Valentine's Day is the Ribbon Cat. This is by far one of the most adorable cats in the game, and there's 4 variations, so if you wanted to pick this up, do it soon. We also have a new Musa armor, however in my opinion it does look a little bland. It just looks basic, but if you can dye it right, it might look pretty cool, and the shoes are pretty sick as well. Carrying on though, we have the Winter Night Crystal. This is just a jukebox with music, looks pretty sick though, and a bunch of furniture. So it does say new, it does look similar, if not the same to furniture we've already had. Not too sure if it's actually new, but that about wraps it up for today's cash shop. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.